Right, okay, abortion. That's always a fun topic. So, I'm lucky enough to have friends with whom I disagree with on basically everything, and one of them challenged me on some of these issues, and I thought I would use this forum to respond to that and share my thoughts on this. I think one of the problems is that we're all like children playing king of the hill with our moral high ground. Everyone's so consumed about like the morality of their position and what they support. And if they just stepped back a little bit, I think we'd find that we have a lot of common ground and some shared goals. One of the one of the remarkable and odd things about the abortion debate is, you have two extreme camps. It's either, absolutely nothing, just clipping your toenails, no moral issues at all, or it's straight up baby murder. Um, and but it doesn't really matter which camp you fall into, even if you're, the the extreme pro-choice camp where you see no moral gray areas. It's still undesirable. It's still a major procedure that's potentially life-threatening. It's invasive and awkward and expensive, and I imagine most women would prefer not to go through the process of having an abortion. It seems to me like the ideal option is to just not have an unwanted pregnancy. Like, why can't we just work toward that? Can't we all agree on that? It seems like we should all be able to agree on that. And yet we waste so much time on the morality of abortion and whether it should be legal, that we don't spend time on the thing that we agree on, which is there are ways to produce it, and we should come together on those things. My friend asked me at what point I thought a fetus became a baby, and whether that was like a fractional process. It was like 50% human, 75% human, that sort of thing. And I don't honestly know the answer to that question. I'm not a moral authority, and I'm trying to have a really honest and open debate here. There's a lot that I don't know, and I don't try and like pretend that I'm an authority on these things. Asking a question like that seems kind of like asking the question, at what point does a car on an assembly line become a car? I'm not sure about that either. But I don't think it's very straightforward. Is sperm 50% human? Is an egg 50% human? Is it 100% a baby when the egg is fertilized? Or does the egg have to get implanted in the uterine wall? Or does cell specialization have to occur first? Does it have to have a circulatory system? I don't know. Where do you draw the line? It seems like, there's a series of steps in making a baby, and it's not clear to me, where that magic line is. Does it just jump from 0 to 100% at one point? I don't know. But I don't know that that's the most important question. And it's certainly not the question that I would like to focus on. I want to say we should focus on our shared goals, which is that abortion's kind of bad for everyone. I don't think we should make it illegal, but I think we should work to make it unnecessary, and we can all agree on that. Let me close by asking a question of my own. For my friend, and for those who are staunchly pro-life, why do you hold this belief? Thinking about my own background, I was raised in a very conservative, evangelical, Bible-believing church. I was a core part of who I was, and it was really important to me. I read the Bible cover to cover multiple times. I was like, that was me. And growing up in this, I knew, abortion was baby murder, because God believed in the sanctity of life. But it turns out, no, he doesn't. He doesn't at all. And there are lots of examples of that in the Bible. And kind of, forcing myself to address these things was one of the first big fissures in the foundation that was my faith. There are many examples of this in the Bible, and if you're unfamiliar with them, you would certainly read the whole Bible like I did, although that's the long way to get the answer. It's a good way, and if that's what it takes, I encourage you to do that. Too many examples to cite in a quick conversation, but a couple that come to mind. In 2 Samuel chapter 12, God kills David's newborn baby. And this is, like, let's be clear, this is not a gray area here. This is a baby. Newborn baby. We all agree it's 100% human with human rights. We all agree that killing babies is wrong. Super wrong. And we all agree that if you do it, you're the worst of the worst and you should get locked up forever. Right? Like this is not a gray area. And yet God killed a newborn baby to punish the baby's parents. Let that sink in. Like what if you were like, you know what? I don't like what you're doing. I'm gonna kill your baby. We should instinctively know that this is very wrong. And yeah, there are justifications and rationalizations that you can give for this, because you can justify and rationalize anything, even baby murder. But this is not an isolated incident. There are many examples in the Bible. There's even a biblical procedure where if the woman is committing adultery, God will abort her baby. And there's a passage in Deuteronomy 20 where God commands the Israelites to kill everything that breathes. Like, let that sink in for you. It's like, yeah, kill the men, kill the women, kill the children, kill the babies, kill their pets, kill that dog, the cat, the mouse, the cow, everything. Like, I don't want anything that breathes to be alive. And if you don't have a moral problem with that, I don't understand why we're having these philosophical discussions over, what point life starts in the gestational period. like these are more fundamental questions. And I know I've been there, and it's hard to face this reality, and I'm ashamed of how long I justified and rationalized, and you can rationalize anything. It's like, oh, there's an explanation, there's a good explanation. But you know what? Like, you wouldn't be okay with this if this popped up in the Quran, would you? Or any other religion, for that matter. It's absurd, it's ridiculous, and it's wrong. And I'm ashamed of the fact that I knew about it and didn't immediately leave Christianity, didn't immediately take a stand. And I know taking a stand is hard. Doing the right thing is hard. Your friends will treat you differently. Your relationship with your family will be different. You will lose people. You will be, you will feel alone. Doing the right thing is tough. But we know for sure it's the right thing. So take a stand and learn from my mistake and take a stand now.